Right, so today on the car fella, you join me back in the garage to review the 2017 Mercedes E-Class Coupe, which we have here. I'll show you now. Which is an absolutely stunning motor. This has been lent to me for the day, for a review. I'm going to drive a couple hundred miles in it and then come back to you all and let you know what I think of it. But as you can see, it is absolutely beautiful. So let me show you a little bit around the inside. It's the back there. Seats are all automatic. Everything's automatic in this car. So I have had a little go round in it already. Right, so I'm going to be doing 200 miles in this car, well around 200 miles. It's going to be a mixture of motorway miles and quite a bit of country lane driving, which I'm worried about with the size of this car. Oh, there goes the seatbelt. But we'll see how we feel, see what we come with. I will probably come back to you tomorrow morning with we'll go for a little drive and I'll give you my thoughts and feelings on the car, just because I think by the time I get back tonight it'll be late and you won't be able to see me. But let's click over to tomorrow morning and see what we think about the car. Right, so you join me the next day back in the E-Class Coupe, and since we last spoke, let me get the trip information up. Since we last spoke, I've done 170 miles in this car, and cards on the table, I do actually love it. It is a lovely car. It is smooth, compliant, fast on the motorway. There is a couple of little downfall spots, but we'll come to them later on. Turn off the start-stop. So I drove this car 170 miles, a few motorway miles, quite a few country lane miles, and the motorway is where this car really shines. It has full adaptive cruise control, lane assist, steering assist, so you don't even have to hold the steering wheel, it steers itself. Change, if you just indicate, it will change lanes itself, keep you the correct distance from other cars. Whack it up into Sport Plus and it moves, so brilliant for overtaking. And I was just cruising the whole way there. It was comfortable. You feel cocoon, because it's so well insulated in here, you feel really cocooned from the outside world. So it's just like you're in your own little bubble. I think once you get into the country lanes in this car, that's where it lets itself down a tiny bit, because if you're in Sport Plus mode, it picks up very quickly, but it doesn't seem to like to stop. I was doing a little bit of dynamic driving, there was a couple of little times it just seemed to, I was forced down on the brakes and just not getting any. It just felt like we was not scrubbing off any speed, so that was a bit worrying. But nothing really. I mean, this car isn't a sports car, it isn't, but because it's a coupe you do feel a bit sporty. But I think for what this car is meant for, which is, like I said, crunching the motorway miles, you wouldn't be any happier, I don't think, in anything else. The The interior is a beautiful place to be. These screens are beautiful. The Apple CarPlay works excellent. I mean, when you got the Waze up on the big 12-inch display there, it's just in the perfect place. Just you catch it at the corner of your eye, and you just don't even really have to look down at it. It's just you're cruising along, you know where you're going. That I really find good. I mean, everything about the interior. It's got heated seats, Burmester sound system. Everything just seems to work and be where you want it and feel plush and premium. Everything's leather, wood. Just feels like a real premium place to be. At one point I had 4 adults in the car, comfortably, very comfortably, no complaints. I think if you was in the back and you was above 6 feet, I think you might struggle. But if you're sort of like an average height man or woman, I think you've got no problem. And for a short journey, I still think you'd have no problem. But if you're going on a longer journey, I think if you're above 6 feet, you might get a little bit uncomfortable back there. That was another thing I wanted to quickly touch on. In the country lanes, I did do a bit of country lane driving at night, and the high beams are literally like turning on the sun. They open like that. It's like someone's opened the curtains on the world, and you can just see for miles. And then if they detect a car coming towards you, they auto dim, which is very handy, because if any of you drove through the country in an older car, or like when I'm driving the TT, you're driving along, you're flicking them on, you're flicking them off, you're flicking them on, you're flicking them off. You don't want to dazzle or distract any other drivers. So, and now and again you'll forget, and you get people flashing you. So these ones are just, it's all done itself. And even when they dim, you can, it still seems like they're on, but they just don't, they block out the bit where the other driver can see, so it doesn't dazzle the other driver, which just fascinated me for some reason. I don't know why. But the little things, I suppose. Wireless charge pad works excellent. I had my phone plugged into the Apple CarPlay, but my partner that I was with, she had her phone on the wireless charge pad. I was charging her phone, no problem. I think another little downfall is visibility out of the car. You feel like you are surrounded by glass. I mean, there's glass everywhere in this car, but I still think the visibility just seems not as good as what it could be. I mean, the pillars are very large, so when especially like now when I'm driving around London, you sort of in and out trying to make sure there ain't no one there. You know, people pop out from everywhere. The back window is a bit like looking through someone's letterbox. So I feel like a bit like a peeping Tom. It's just, yeah, it's just very, you sort of get a little snapshot of what's going on behind you, but not really. I'd say one as well though, when you are manoeuvring this car, even though it feels like a boat, when the 360 cameras come up and the parking sensors come up, I've had no issue at all. In the car park where we filmed the intro, it is very, very, very tight getting in and out of there, and very tight in there to manoeuvre, and this car handled it absolutely no problem. I had no worries about digging or bumping at any point. The 360 view is excellent. I think another thing that always worries me about this car is the keyless entry and go. I always worry that am I going to come out in the morning and someone's drove off with it. I think you always should drop your keyless keys into a Faraday pouch when you're inside or at home, just so no one can boost your signal and you come out in the morning and your car's gone. But I think my overall opinion is this is an excellent car. I think not only does it look cool, you feel nice in it, you feel premium, it is premium, it looks premium, but I still wouldn't buy one. This one especially, this is a beautiful car, everything about it is spot on, but I wouldn't buy a diesel living in London because as anyone lives in London will tell you, the supplements now on owning a diesel car in London are just getting astronomical. They're raising car tax. Even for my parking permit where I live in central London is £100 a year anyway. If you have a diesel, it goes up to £198 a year, so it makes a big difference. Like I said, the car tax, and people they're just trying to get diesels off the road, so it's just an impractical purchase living where I live. I would like to test a petrol one, and I will try and test the petrol one if I can and see the difference. I think if you're a company car driver, why you would go for anything else, I don't know. This is perfect. If you're doing a lot of motorway miles, again, absolutely perfect. This would just be a pleasure. If I had to scoot up and down the motorway for work all day, every day, I would love to be doing it in this. But I think for me, my needs, because the next car that I buy will be a daily driver for me and my partner to use. So once the TT's tuned and gets a bit more silly, it can just sit until fun weekends or road trips or whatever. So, and I would love a Mercedes to be the next car, but I just think for this one, this would not be the one. But like I said, this is a good car purchase, a very good car purchase. And I would definitely, if someone said to me, give me your opinion, I do not like the stop start. I know it's good for the fuel economy and the world, but it just drives me insane. I keep thinking, what's happened? I'm just looking down at my fuel economy, and we're averaging 43 miles per gallon, which I don't think is bad at all. I mean, when you're coming out of the TT, then again, the TT averages, I think my overall average is 35 miles per gallon. And I haven't drove this car in eco mode once. Yesterday I was driving it all day in sport, for a while in comfort, and then the rest of the time in sport plus, the whole time. And I'm not exactly light on the throttle pedal. So I think that economy is not too bad at all. Right, so as just to end the video, as a little caveat, this is my first car review, so please be kind. It was just an attempt to try and give you a car review from a normal person's point of view that doesn't have a load of cars, and if they buy a car or use a car, they've got to use it for normal purposes, taking the kids to school, buying shopping, visiting friends, family. So that's what I've used this car for. I will be trying to do one of these a month, try and vary the cars as much as I can. They'll just be what I can get my hands on. And it will just be, I'll try and do a couple of 100 miles in each one. They will mostly probably just be a quick, like this one, a 24-hour review. So I can just do a couple of 100 miles and then come back to you and let you know a quick brief, this is good, this is bad, just from an everyday perspective. I mean, driving around, I've drove London, I've drove motorways, I've been in traffic, I've not been cruising around Saint-Tropez in it, which I would love to, but just whether you should buy one, what my recommendations are. But please like, share, subscribe, keep supporting the channel, and we'll be back with another video on Friday.